good moment, because that is all we really have, is the moment that you are here with me right now. I'm not allowed to talk about the rising costs of living, the death of children on our street from the opioid epidemic, which has now been replaced by the benzodiazepine profitability. I'm not allowed to talk about religion. I'm not allowed to talk about crystal meth. I'm not allowed to talk about the retardedness of being independent, powerful woman. I'm really not allowed to talk about anything. But I do think I'm fully within my rights to talk about the $55 billion that the federal government has chosen they deserve as their payroll for the year 2022. And you can't just say fuck Trudeau or anything like that, because it would have happened no matter who was in the government. Like maybe they'd have shaved 5 billion or 7 billion, but there is only 8.5 billion people on the face of the planet. Maybe just over, just under, something like that. But in 1995, I created a church, which I'm not allowed to talk about either. We can't talk about spirituality or the rising attacks on spiritual establishments. But we can talk about the creation of a new culture, not swallowing them up, and a new education, because that other one that we're forcing our kids to go to in Ottawa is still probably one of the greatest crimes against humanity, other than adhering to the concept of time as an independent. Because whether you tell time by the sun or the moon, it was a construct of mankind. And if you're going to be beating to the beat of your own independent, powerful, self-righteous drum, who cares what time you show up for your own meetings? I care about my children, my family, and to be quite honest, all 8.5 billion people on the planet. Those that do fentanyl that maybe had benzodiazepines slipped into it, or those that smoke, or those that are being brainwashed by a Bible that they don't understand anything about, or maybe even 1,000 different languages to convince them of the same thing. I also strongly care about fun. And not necessarily the big white supremacists, but big white, not too far away from a bed and breakfast called Heaven, is an amazing opportunity for you to fight back through the laws as a group, a nonprofit organization community aimed at initially getting me off the streets. Actually, I just need to be in a motorhome so I can do this coast to coast and run for prime minister. And right out of South Park, don't vote for me. Don't vote for me. I know nothing. I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. All I would do is find the best people that want to look out for the common good and stop the stealing of people's names and identity and freedom by falsely accusing them of sexual assault. Stop the incarceration of people that break laws, even though you're probably speeding right now. And stop the retardedness of a $55 billion a year federal government payroll. Like, is that what they owe us? Like, if we prorated it and matched it to a true cost of inflation, let's throw some housing in there and say that would be the amount they owe us just out of the 2022 year alone. And then we're going to add on a factor for the number of people that have become homeless or are one paycheck away from becoming homeless. And we'll even include those that are living in cars. We're not going to call them homeless. They're living in a car. That's a beautiful place. We're going to include them. And we're also going to include the ones in Tent City, because if you get run over by a truck, because our civil servants are bringing their righteous desires to this country, this Canada, that does tell time by the Romans. And therefore, in Jesus' name, God bless us all, I hope that you sign up to apply for getting some tax money back, and how about let the government buy you a house once in a while, as long as you are all right with contributing to my boys' public trust administered by the BC government that is designed to not only secure their future, but to secure the future of their children and the children after that. But most importantly, our Canadian soil, mineral rights, and water. We got room for a lot more people on this planet. We do not need to be looking at Mars already. However, we don't have any more room for spineless cowardly acts of independence for the greater good. We got to get together, like Sadhguru said, one world government, one world currency, one state of joy and abundance for all. I add that in there myself. I do a lot of adding and ad-libbing, but these are original ideas that started in 1995. And I love the fact that even a rhinoceros thinks he can steal from me. Because I was just in this Nepalese restaurant in Nepal, and I'm pretty sure they shoot rhinos. Blessed be, no matter whether you're man, woman, or that thing in between, or maybe even changed from one to the other, we are blessed because you still got that next breath. But now, are we honestly that blessed to have a Canadian government like this? And in the beautiful spirit of family, buenas noches, Mexico, make that jump, baby. Like Trump built a ramp for a reason. You just need more power to get over here into Canada. And you don't need to listen to Jesus, because even the Dairy Queens of the world have my Mayan calendar, probably not around their neck, but I hope to see Daniel. Not the Daniel that advertised himself as Satan, because I'm Satan. And I'd prefer if you just call me one. But if you want to call me by my true spirit, the black Nubian queen that I am, you can call me Lucy. But I think we're going to stick true to Prince's name. And you can call me that.